Hello, everybody, and welcome to another Spark of Genius Flesh and Blood production, classic constructed review. This is going to come from, this is the first of a fair number of games. I think 3 or 4 games that we've kind of tagged out from the Battle Hardened Los Angeles weekend, 2 from the Battle Hardened event itself, and then 2 from the PTI event. I am joined by my co-creator, co-commentator, co-caster, co-compatriot, Rob.
Hello.
And this is going to be Uzuri versus Dorinthea. And the reason I picked this is none other than Mr. Shininoe on this Dorinthea. Not PSA, sorry. PCG 9.5, it looks like.
Yes, it does. Signed by Liu
By the artist,
Masahito,
yeah.
I believe. Yeah.
Is that... It could be the front face of the Marvel.
Oh. Or the original
cold
foil from Skirmish Season 1.
Like, Shin's been around a while. I think that might be the OG.
It's very possible.
Pretty impressive.
And I think that's the Worlds logo too. The
looks like the Worlds logo in the bottom. I see it there, 9.5 Worlds, like right below.
So he likely got this signed. He probably got it signed and encased at Worlds. Yeah.
Yeah, he was there at World. The artist was there at World. Actually, I think Shin was there at Worlds too. But the artist.
Yeah, I remember seeing him too.
So it makes sense. Okay. Anyways, so this is going to be Swiss round 3. So both these players are 1-1. So anything can happen because they're 1-1, right? So we can start off the game here.
Yeah, we'll start. It's probably a slow start anyway. They're just getting their stuff. Oh, there's the fist bump. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got the fist bump here. We got pretty standard stuff equipment-wise both sides. We do have the tunic on Shin's side, and we do have the skull cap on.
That is
Jake's
skull cap.
Side. Probably only the 2 things worth noting. So skull cap just a bit more defensive. I don't remember if this is a contract. I mean, it can't be a contract build, not with Snap's skull cap. So it's probably going to be more of a mid-rangey, more of a mid-rangey style Uzuri deck that that he's trying to play here. So Shin is going first. I'm not sure who won the roll or who just goes first, but that's
a heck of a turn 1.
Right, you see, that's how you go first, right there.
You see those 2 cards, you slam them down. Now I'm wondering, like, just in general. So Dori versus Uzuri. Dori's got a lot of nice shunts in the deck. I assume you probably run at least the 3 blue and 3 reds. So very strong into Uzuri's, 6 attack cards, offer ability. So Dori's kind of well positioned, I think, into Uzuri in general.
Yeah, so you can tell that Shin is probably running a bunch of those shunts just because he has Tunic. That's the main kind of idea. You want Tunic to be up for shunt. Usually if you're trying to slam down aggressiveness, you're going to run the Courage and Blade Hold, because it's just 2 armor and then you pop it and your sword is free. So that's like the more aggressive strat. So you can tell that Shin definitely knows this matchup is not going to be, not going to be a cakewalk if you try to slam your cards into Uzuri, because Uzuri had a ton of 3 blocks, pretty good value off 2-card hands. Like, you're not always going to have an attack reaction as the Dori to get over it. So really trying to make sure that your strategy is kind of correct in this matchup. And I think Shin's deck looks mighty thick. I have a feeling he's just running the full stack into Uzuri, trying not to fatigue, because it's pretty hard to be able, because there's a lot of disruption on the Uzuri side, right? And so being able to and that disruption like banishes cards, right? So it's a race again. Like, if you fatigue, if you just literally swinging Dawnblade, it's gonna be like 3 block every single time. You're not gonna win the game that way, right? So because Uzuri has weapons too. So and they're much harder to block than just giving a card up for Dawnblade, right? So at the end of the day, Shin does know that he needs to be very wary about fatiguing out his threats here. Yeah, his threats here, which sounds weird when you're thinking about it, but that's actually kind of how like the matchup goes, because Uzuri gets to put that card right to the bottom with the Uzuri ability, right? It's not like you're
there's no way you can out fatigue an Uzuri. It's
very difficult.
It's
Maybe
very difficult,
I guess.
Yeah, but, you got to really set your deck up to be able to do that. But most decks that are mid range or aggro, they won't be able to do it.
Look at turn 1. Shin did get a counter because of his determination.
Yeah, so that was very nice. Able to get the counter on Dawnblade. That was one of the glistenings used up. Kind of nice, I guess, that that one's gone and you only took 1 damage from it. It's it could have been a lot worse, but turn 1, 4 cards, like, you just gotta play it out probably.
Yeah, no reaction, so to speak. Shin did.
The shakedown does kind of come out of here. So blocking 3, gonna take 3 probably, unless he wants to react. He does have a shunt in arsenal. Blue, so covering 7, I believe. Looks good. Yeah. Having to pitch forward, of course. Tunic not up yet.
Yeah, so his hand did have a little bit too much pitch on that side. It's a little a little unfortunate. It is -1 because of the scalpel, but
Oh,
it's
that's
still
true.
good.
That is a perfect block then. Yeah, yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. CNC,
And
interesting choice, I guess. CNC standard in Dory? I guess it would be against a lot of the
yeah.
aggro
Oh,
decks.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'd say it's standard. It's just
Yeah.
like you're able to get that. Yeah, you see the remembrance here, so you can see
Mm,
very clearly the strategy Shin is taking. And he's very aware that this is going to be this game's going to go a little bit long here.
right.
Dawnblade coming in for 4. I think as Dory, you're probably trying to go for pitch stack and trying to stem the bleeding with your shunts and like your 3 blocks. But I think on the other side, Uzuri does have a bit of an advantage just because you are able to efficiently disrupt super well into Dory,
Hmm.
and Dory only has so much armor, so it's kind of like
Yeah, even less so
uh,
without the courage, I guess.
less so with the courage, but it's sort of like Azuri is feigning a Dory because you're trying to threaten multi-card blocks because you don't know
Yeah.
what the reaction's going to come out.
I
But
mean,
here it's just
that's a good point. Both decks play in a similar manner where you are trying to
they
feign
do.
out your opponent's blocks. So it really is kind of a skill intensive matchup, I think. It's not really something that you can telegraph really well. It's like whichever player kind of just plays better in this matchup usually has the edge.
Yeah, knowing the matchup is definitely something you need to consider in this, but I think it also comes down to a little bit about like how the hands line up, right? So if Shin can
Right.
get his power
The luck
cards
factor,
together,
yeah.
a
Like
little bit,
any
but like
TCG, yeah. Fab probably less so
yeah,
than most, although it is true that you do have to get things to line up for you anyway. Is he blocking with that?
yeah, it's blocking with the glistening. Azuri gonna come out here, so it's kind of like if Jake's able to get enough Azuri triggers on hands where Shin has all his power cards, it's pretty intense. Oh, you got another
It's
shunt
a
coming
little
out here.
sad that he blocked with it. Not the first card I would have thought. Oh, is that a nourishing?
Yeah, it's not. It's not. It's just coming in for 6 at this point. Nourishing is really there in Azuri just for like turn 0.
It's true.
Like
Yeah.
it's really just if you can spike turn 0 nourishing, you're just chilling. But in
Yeah,
this
that's a good
particular case,
point.
it's just
Yeah.
6.
Afterwards,
It's
it's
just
just a
6.
2 for 6
Yeah, and this
or
is gonna
0 for 6,
be
I should say, because it's Zuri.
yeah, it's going to be pretty standard attacks coming in like Valor, Dawnblade coming in for 6, threatening another swing. Generally,
Yeah.
it's going to be hard for Shin to keep a bunch of cards and not get disrupted. But
Yeah, but Dory can do
here,
it pretty well, I think, because you can always, with enough pitch, you can threaten the double attack with Dawnblade, right?
sure.
Here we see on a 2 card hand, he's able to do it if this attack goes through because of the Valor.
It's pretty hard because Zuri has like mostly 3 blocks and there's no tricks
No
at all
tricks. Yeah.
on
On
Shin's
Dory's side, yeah. Once you play out your go again action card with Dawnblade, nothing left in hand. It's like okay, you kind of expect to fully block here.
Yeah, and this is the annoying part of when you're Dory facing Azuri because these isolates are just always going to be a pain in the ass
Well,
because you're
it's
always
the
just going
bread
to be
and
hoping
butter of
for
Azuri.
disruption.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true. Here's another shakedown coming in here.
Yeah. Likely not having a shunt this time here, so passing it back. Oh, he did. Oh, okay. No, he's showing the both Iron Song Prize, I believe. 2 EAs.
Double
Very nice.
extended art Iron Song Pride. That is a
Very nice.
response right there. Um, Definitely not where Shin parked his car.
Yeah.
But he's gonna be able to tunic and swing the Dawnblade, which is pretty funny. So he's still gonna come in for 5,
It's true.
which is
Yeah, that is true.
it's gonna force a 2 card block, I guess. Otherwise he gets to keep the counters now.
That is true. Yeah, yeah. The counters will
So
stay, I believe, if Dawnblade does, as long as it hits.
Shin having a good old laugh about that play. Definitely not
Yeah,
what
yeah.
he would be doing.
It's being a good sport about it for sure.
Yeah, definitely a little bit on the unlucky side, but I think as far as this goes, like you just shake down, even if it hits, you're gonna show 2 red. You're just gonna get 1 out of the hand anyways. Like you don't want to arsenal that card. Like it's not
It's a good point.
it's not
Yeah.
it's not something. It's very sticky in the arsenal. It's hard to get out other than ground. You generally want to be using your arsenal for either shunts or a power card like Steel Blade Supremacy, something like that.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Shin also only has one glistening steel blade left because he used one and blocked with
Yeah.
one, so that's also something to track to see when that other one comes out.
Mm-hmm.
Jake kind of thinking about the block here. I imagine he just shoves 2 cards in front of it. So looking at the game state here, 39 to 35, not really anything that's happened. We've seen 2 shunts. out of Shin, neither of them off Tunic, which is,
Yeah.
I mean, you can only have Tunic up so
Tunic
many
being
times,
used
right?
here to maintain those counters on Dawnblade, so pretty important that he
Mm.
did have Tunic up at this point.
Yeah,
But yeah,
definitely.
unfortunately, he had to pay a full card to be able to use the shunts earlier.
Yeah, definitely a nice heads up play from the Uzuri deck list itself, having Orbido classed and the Nerf Scalpel, right?
Hmm.
Because some of them don't, some of them aren't running Orbido classed, right? And
Right.
so the Spider's Bite doesn't really do anything because there's no attack actions usually other than CNC and
Yeah.
maybe Nourishing in the Shin's deck. But having the Orbido class allows you to actually just target way more cards, right? It
Yeah,
allows
it
you
is
to
true.
target Supremacy, Warrior's Valor, Hit and Run, like a whole
Hmm.
bunch of other cards. And then the reactions are also hit by the scalpel.
The
So
scalpel. Yeah.
it's not bad. It's you're covering a lot of your bases here, which is something that
Yeah.
I think wasn't really looked at. Like how many daggers are you really running?
It's true. And
Is there
Dory
any?
is a unique case where there are not, any if very few attack actions. So one of the few matches that Spider's Bite does get sideboarded out, right?
Yes, definitely one of the few matchups, other than maybe
Maybe Kano.
yeah, Kano would be the Kano would definitely be Orbido classed
Yeah.
for sure. I don't know what the second dagger. I guess the second dagger could be scalpel. I
I
guess,
mean, they're.
but
Yeah.
I don't really know what the other dagger. Maybe I don't think you're running double Orbido, but I don't even know you'd have pitch
Mhm.
to swing with double Orbido. Oh no, probably be running Lantern. What am I saying? Probably running
Oh,
Orbido.
yeah, that makes sense.
In that
Yeah.
matchup
Yeah. Good old Lantern.
would be yeah, that'd be
Ooh,
everything. So
getting a
Jake can tank a little bit here.
pretty high
Oh, he's
value
gonna be
card. Uh,
Frailty Trap here.
Trap,
So
yeah, okay.
doesn't trigger, but it is going to stop those counters from staying on. I don't know why. I don't know why I thought that much about that turn, but looks like he's got Sink Below, Codex of Frailty, and something else. So he's going to use the Codex of Frailty.
Oh.
So this hand must be doo doo.
Yeah, I mean, usually you don't
What
use
is
it that
I'm
early.
thinking. No, not unless your hand's doo doo. So he's going to be grabbing he could grab Shakedown. He can grab E Strike. That's
Hmm.
probably not bad.
Yeah, I would say
grabbing Shakedown seems
E-Strike.
fine.
Shakedown, we have to pay for it, I guess, but it only costs 2, so you could just pitch.
Yeah, you're
But
still gonna have a card in hand, but
yeah,
okay,
yeah, you're right.
He's gonna put an Isolate. He's gonna E-Strike
But
that.
E-Strike for
Sink
7
below
is
to the bottom.
fine. Yeah, there is no Arsenal on the Dory side, so like disruption isn't as key, I think, at this point. But Shakedown, if he had the pitch to pay for it, which I think he did. Actually, I forget
Yeah,
what we didn't really see what he bottomed, but
assuming oh, it's a Sink Below. He bottomed a Sink Below, but assuming it's a
okay.
red Isolate, then he could just use the Tunic if he really wanted to.
Yeah,
but
that's true.
I think
Yeah.
Shakedown, and then Shin just blocks with 2 cards, so it's not Shakedown in the matchup is not a good 2 for 6.
Yeah.
And against aggro, it makes a whole lot more sense. Against Dory trying to like slow the game, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
That's
So
true.
it's
Well
quite
take
annoying
your
that
chip damage.
yeah, it is annoying that frailty gonna still affect the Dawnblade. So it's only coming in for 5, which
It's still a
might be a thing
yeah,
if you have a 2 block.
5 might be equal to 6 at this point, if he has all 3 blocks, right?
Yeah, like I don't think he's looking like blocking with your two blocks in the deck are very valuable. So like the 2 blocks that Uzuri are running are going to be things like Codex of Frailty.
Yeah.
They're going to be things like looking for a scrap, another really good 2 block, which
Well,
is
it's
going to
true.
need to really push cards and push blocks out.
More
Another
frailty trap.
here.
Yeah, all the frailties. I mean, that makes sense, of course, into Dory, right? You just got to play all the frailty cards.
Yeah, they're not going to trigger though, unless Shin is going to be like using things like Hit and Run, which like auto give the go again, or using what's that other card? Run Through. So that one gives go again. So like cards that like
Right.
unconditionally can go again is not. It is the looking for a scrap that I kind of mentioned
Right,
before.
so-
Interesting that he's starting with it.
It does have go again, though,
Um,
if you do banish a 1-attack card, right?
Sure, but like he has the. I guess it depends on what's in the arsenal. I don't actually know what he drew off the ponder, so it really depends on what he drew off the ponder here. But like I would like why not just swing the dagger first?
You're right, so he pitched the blue surgical here, so
Yeah.
he could have definitely daggered.
It looks a bit suspicious as far as the card in the arsenal, right? So I think that if the card in the arsenal is a 0 cost, it makes sense because then your dagger and then your -1 is going to be on
Yeah.
0 cost instead
You-
of
you
this.
definitely
spoils
dagger
before
first.
getting -1. Yeah, you definitely dagger first.
So
Okay,
he
he's got
daggers
Scalpel
second.
coming
Okay.
out.
Yeah, so it is interesting. Yeah, I don't know.
This
So
could be 0 cost or a 1 cost. Could be like a death touch. No, just passing. All right.
Okay. Yeah.
Don't see the point of that.
Yeah.
Could have just
Okay.
Albedo class to
It,
make
it
this
looks like he
visible
should have
minus
done that
one.
first. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You should have done it first. Like the only way you don't do it is if you're hitting him with the Arsenal card, right? So that's probably the first misplay I would say it was. Like you're gonna want to hit him with Orbedo class because it's targeting quite a bit of things.
Mm-hmm.
That Spoils of War would have been a -1, so maybe he would have blocked with a different card, made it awkward,
Mm-hmm.
or Shin just would have blocked with that card for 2 and taken 3, which is every point of damage matters in this matchup. So.
Mm-hmm.
Don't know what that one. Probably a bit of a minor miss, or it could be like
Yeah.
he was going to Arsenal, he changed his mind. Like you play the card and you're like the line is this, this, and this, and maybe
Yeah.
he didn't expect that block from Shin, or
Could
like
be.
you expect Shin to double block or something. I don't know. But now Shin is gonna make him pay for it for whatever he's got in the Arsenal because CNC's coming to town. But I don't think
Yeah.
CNC does anything here because
I saw a
he like
CNC. Yeah, I saw CNC also in Jake's hand, so it's probably gonna be a prime
sure.
card to block with. Honestly, if you're looking at a Dory and they don't have Arsenal, right?
Yeah, that card was Give and Take. That's the card in the Arsenal.
Oh, but I
Very nice
guess
card.
okay, very nice. Yeah, but sorry, I misspoke. Or Dory's gonna Arsenal card anyway here, so CNC is kind of CNC will matter from Jake's side.
Oh, I don't like that play at all.
No,
Let's pause it for a sec here.
sure.
Like, okay, so what Jake did is when he did looking for a scrap into dagger pass,
Hmm.
he had tunic up, no?
He
So
did, yeah.
why wouldn't you just why wouldn't you just start with give and take? Either take the free damage or you take the card. Like because if he
Hmm.
blocks with Shin blocks with a card, he's gonna get something. Like, and this is a fatiguey match, so there's really no reason not to be playing give and take immediately if you have to pitch for it, right?
Hmm.
Then you give and take. So you give and take with the thing from the Arsenal. It has go again. Then you dagger and then looking for scrap, and it's looking for scrap is still a 1 for 5. Like
Hmm.
it doesn't really matter if it has go again or not. And then you're coming in for so you're coming in for 9
Yeah, one
off
five
of blue.
three. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. You're coming in for 9, and you're gonna get a card on top, so you can actually stack like some kind of good card, good threat card on top. And then if you saw Shin, or if you want to start with looking for a scrap, that's fine. Then you see Shin blocking, and then he might even not even block give and take, and then you're just getting 3 free damage across, right?
Hmm.
So he
True.
saved it
So
for
he.
what purpose? I'm not sure. That's why I don't really like. He has no knowledge of his next hand, so why is he saving it? Like he does. It's not like he's keeping it knowing what his next hand is. Like he had
Right.
no cards at the end of the turn, right?
Right.
So
I guess
I
the
don't
only
really
thing is
see a reason.
he kept tunic. I guess right. So you keep the tunic
Yeah, he
charge
kept the
on.
tunic.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's the thing. You keep the tunic for what
Right, and then
exactly?
you miss out on
You had-
charges, so you're kind of losing efficiency from your tunic by doing that.
yeah. You used it for looking for a scrap here, but you didn't need to. Like
Right,
you
you
had a
didn't
blue.
need to. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You had a blue, right? So I think that's makes not a lot of sense. I think you play the give
Mm,
and take ASAP and get that card and guarantee a threat in your hand. Okay, we
yeah,
can keep going
I,
here.
I I agree. Yeah. Well, here we're getting isolate, I guess, blue isolate
Yeah, so we're gonna see
or banishing,
another.
of course. Yeah.
Yeah, so this is the second turn. So now he's using the tunic that he didn't use for give and take for looking for scrap. Um,
Hmm.
Fine play, and
Okay.
then into a second isolate here, and then you tell he just took the 6 and then he lost the give and take, but it could have been like taking 6 and not losing give and take, and then Shin taking 3, or you getting a card, right? Which is
Yeah.
infinitely better. We are going to see the isolate Uzuri into
Hmm.
the CNC.
Right.
Woof. So that's going to take it. That's going to take his arsenal. Hopefully, it wasn't anything good in the arsenal. Oh,
Okay.
Oasis Respite. Oh man,
That makes a
Shin-
lot of sense. Just
so
specifically to combat the CNC.
I think the reason Shin might have this card in his
Hmm.
deck is because Oldham was still legal for this event. I
Okay.
can't see a reason why maybe he'll
Literally just.
comment and be like, "Oh, Oasis is still good after," and I'm just a dumbass. But I have a feeling
Hmm.
that card is for Oldham and Guardian in general, and
Hmm.
so it was in the deck for this event. But I think upcoming, especially with the Dust Till Dawn, I don't know if that's going to stay in the deck. Like I really don't know if he
Yeah,
has
that's a good
slots
point.
at this point. Shin using the tunic gear, swinging for Dawnblade for 3. It's
Yep.
it's so interesting because every time I do this on Dory, I draw Shunt the very next turn and I
Right.
cry. But like clearly you don't want to be wasting tunic triggers, and that might just be like getting unlucky in that particular case, depending on
Yeah.
when you're drawing your shunts. Because obviously Shin drew Shunt turn 1, turn 2 when he had tunic on 1 and 2.
Mhm.
So definitely a little on the unlucky side. I would say you really do want to be trying to, if you can, sync it up as much as possible. We do see Fate for Scene coming from
Yeah,
Jake.
it is
It is
true.
from
Yeah.
Arsenal.
Although when you're looking at a hand like that, you have one card in Arsenal. Like you probably do want to put some pressure, just get 1 or 2 life points if you can, or at least maybe 1 point of life if you can with Tunic. I just don't know if I like really holding Tunic specifically for the shunts.
Well, I don't think you can. It's
Right.
not really in your best interest in the long game to lose value off a tunic.
Yeah, you got to get the value where you can.
You do see E-Strike for Jake here,
5,
looking like go again. Cards in hand. Yeah. Probably just gonna do another. If I was Shin, probably looking at like another stealth Uzuri something. Probably the most likely scenario. Otherwise, he probably just
with
would
2
have
cards.
swung it.
Makes sense.
Yeah, because the other play for Uzuri here is you pitch dagger, E-Strike for 7 Arsenal pass, right? That's generally what you're going to be doing with if you just have E-Strike as your only threat, because otherwise, why would you be doing this? So yeah, there's leave no witnesses. That's so okay.
Basically, so E-Strike for 5, leave no witnesses, Arsenal card. Is that stronger?
Definitely. Definitely. This one's easy because you can just bolters, right? So you're giving Shin like the best bolters value on the face of the planet, like right? Because what other thing comes in for 4 on Jake's side?
I guess surgical is the only thing.
Yeah, but surgical, you're really going to be heads up. Like you're going to be Uzuring that in most definitely.
That's true. Yeah, you wouldn't really want to pitch for it. Yeah.
Probably not. So yeah, you see Shin taking that beautiful value on bolters, getting to keep a 2-card hand with Arsenal. Only 28, so it's still pretty like even life here. So as far as assessing the game state goes, it's still extremely even. I would say that I think if Jake would have done the play I mentioned, he would be at a slight advantage because he probably would have had an additional threat, and he might have been able to get like a stealth card or something instead of whatever card he had before. Although that would probably that would probably depend on what his game plan was with whatever hand he would have drawn, right? Because like I don't know if Shin blocks with a card or not there. So maybe if he doesn't, so maybe Shin's at 25 instead, right?
Right. Yep.
Looks like puncture's coming through.
Oh, puncture, yeah. I almost thought it was run through for a sec, but yeah, puncture.
No.
Yeah.
Quick puncture for 3. No equipment blocks, so it's not going to get the extra +1. It's still coming in for 6.
Piercing here. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's pretty doubtful. Like if I'm Jake here, I don't think Shin's like coming in with bolters. It seems kind of loose because you have no pitch left.
You gotta use your last card for the Dawn Blade again. Yeah, it's true. Likely going to be arsenaling it.
Yeah. It looks like it's...
He called it right.
Like, the alternative is like, okay, so if he's bolter, I guess he's going to pitch, bracers come in for 4, and then if you have a D-react, you're just stonewalled. You lost bolters for no reason, essentially. So I think that's pretty loose to like expect him.
It's true.
To bolters.
It's a give and take, I believe.
Yeah, give and take. He is playing this one, not letting it die to the wayside, understanding that this is a pretty key win con in this this matchup, given that you will be blocking with a lot of cards. Yeah, Shin just taking it. I don't think Shin's blocking that card ever. So you can tell, I think he lost 3. Like, Shin should be at 22 for all intents and purposes.
Yeah.
We do see the Nerve Scalpel. I do like Nerve Scalpeling over the Orbido class tier.
So they actually forgot about the 3 damage then, it seems. Because they dealt the one. They dealt the one with the scalpel.
He was at 28. Right?
Oh, he was 28. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Okay.
Yeah, he was at 28.
Okay.
Yeah. I was pretending he was at 25.
Okay. I'm sorry then. Yeah. I got confused. Okay. So took the one then from the Nerve Scalpel.
Took the one from the Scalpel. It is pretty important to play this before the Isolate, just because reactions are going to be like the thing to use. But I don't know how many reactions Shin has that aren't shunt. Like I don't know if he's running sinks in this matchup or in the list for that matter. But that would be like the biggest kind of play. Now, it is important to note that Jake can flick this if he wants to.
Yep. Yeah. Although it's a pretty important dagger to keep around, I think.
I would say so. You really don't want to be flicking until like mid to late game.
Yeah. Especially because that's like one of the main daggers you're going to be using to poke and then to discount or lower the defense. Yeah.
Yep. We do see a Death Touch Uzuri in here. Death Touch, very, very good value, especially with Uzuri. Just kind of a no-brainer. 1 for 6 coming in here that you can use with any stealth card. The yellows are also quite good. 1 for 5. The blues are not bad, but they get covered up by a reaction, which is kind of awkward.
Yeah, they do. Yeah. Blue Shunt would be the one that can cover it the most efficiently.
Yeah, Blue Shunt or just like any other deck.
Or just uses Oasis, I guess.
Oasis is true. Oasis does cover it nicely. Pretty nice counter to Scalpel too. So,
All right. Well, taking it very easy. Just Dawn Blade, blocking
Yeah.
effectively.
Another
Um,
thing is that Oasis very good at Shin doing a great job at like getting these Oases at the right time to gain the life, right? So you've essentially
mm,
prevented 3 daggers if you
that's
use
true.
all of your Oases, which is quite good in
Yeah.
this matchup too, where like every piece matters here. So 27 to 25, just as even as
Narrowed
it
the
was
gap a little
before.
bit. I think it was like 33 to 28 before.
Yeah, the Oasis
Yeah.
Oasis is a lot of work.
Yeah. A lot
So
of
this
D
thing
reacts
is
coming
from
through.
You're probably going to see
Um,
3 phase 3 sync and probably a couple frailty traps. Probably all he's
yeah.
got. I'd say probably 8. I don't know if he's running the third frailty trap, possibly.
Hmm.
He might be because of Lexi. I just don't know if he's running it in this matchup, but
Right.
he probably has 3 frailty traps in the matchup.
Right. Yeah. Very good tech into Lexi for sure.
Yes, very good. Very good into Katsu. Very good into Lexi. Frailty is a hell of a drug here, getting a
Hmm.
lot of value. Now, I think it's like the timer being at 27 minutes is a bit concerning,
That's
especially in
true. Yeah.
this
They
longer
are
kind of game here.
not even halfway done, according to how the health totals.
We are in Swiss, so draws do exist. That's probably something that the
Mm,
players are acutely aware of.
that's
He
true.
is so Jake is starting with Scalpel now. That means his playline is going to be wildly different. No,
Yeah.
it's probably just be a stealth card. Yeah, there it is. There's the stealth
Yep.
card. Uh,
Very
pretty
classic opening.
common if yeah, if he's starting with dagger, if your Azuri is starting with dagger, he's probably following up. He or she, or them, or they, probably
Right.
following up with a stealth card just because
Yeah.
what else are you doing with life here? It's
No,
interesting that
that's the
he
setup. Yeah.
yeah, like he's probably flicking a card,
Flick
literally right off the
knives.
table.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
probably not flicking knives this turn here. So it's just
Yeah.
interesting. His tunic is at 2,
For
and
Shin. Yeah.
so no, sorry. His tunic, Jake's tunic means he's at 2 floating effectively,
Oh, I
right?
see what you mean. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so we are going to see the Azuri trigger, of course.
Yeah. Hmm. Oh, I think I saw a Fate
Uh,
for Scene as that last card there. Yeah.
Humble.
Wow.
Humble is
Humble's a card I do not see often
interesting.
at all.
I mean, it just means Dory can't swing
It's.
twice with Dawnblade, right?
Hmm.
Is that just all that does there? I think.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess that's why you run it.
Yeah, it's hero powers, right?
Yeah, I think it turns off the hero power on hit, I believe.
On hit, yeah, on hit.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So it's basically like your erase face, but not for talents and stuff. It's basically just for the hero power.
Yeah, they lose all ability. Okay, so Shin has very gracefully humbled his Dory here. And he will be got the heart
He
too.
got
This man
the
is just gaining all the life.
yeah,
This
yeah.
here.
Unfortunately, couldn't block with it, so he did take a chunk of damage, but he is
He
able
did.
to now pitch it for a health back, which is nice. And we see this the third steel blade,
This is
not
super depressing. He can't
glistening
swing
steel
again
blade.
with it unless he's got twinning.
Yeah, that is true though. So I mean, he can make it like one counter or so, but it is being blocked out
Must have twinning.
effectively. Okay, so he is able to give it.
He's gonna look for twinning. Oh, what a god.
Oh,
Okay.
that's true.
So
Yeah, yeah,
I think he has to look for twinning. He's already over the 4.
yeah. There it is.
There it is. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I'm not as bad of a Dory player as I thought
Yeah,
I was. So
it's true.
it's essentially the only way Shin takes damage off the humble there and still says, "Yeah, I'll play this glistening
Mm,
now," is if he has twinning or has the tutor for twinning, which you're
yeah,
saying. I think as Azuri, you have to understand that if that's coming through,
yeah.
I think you block 6 here.
Mm, right. Yeah, exactly. You block six, and you're content with knowing that they've played their third
No,
glistening, right?
no, I think you just block 3. Never mind. I think the 3 is fine. Just because like if you block 6, the singing still gets over it. Sorry, the twinning still gets around it, right? He
Okay.
doesn't have to hit, right?
Um.
Because there's the face, so it doesn't really matter. He doesn't have to hit because
Right.
Dory is off. The second swing is coming regardless.
Okay. And the go again source with some glistening, right?
Correct. So here's the second swing here. He's going to be using the tunic and the not the bracers. He doesn't have any pitch floating after that.
Yeah, it's too bad.
We do see this. Yeah, see this is coming regardless. Um,
Right. So regardless whether you block three or six, I guess it just matters on
Yeah.
if you would have taken the 1 damage, I guess, from the counter, because you'd get a counter at this point from glistening.
If you had, that's interesting.
Mm.
I'm just trying to think if you actually need to block 3 there if you had the Fate.
Okay.
That Fate was from Arsenal too?
Mm-hmm. Do you just kind of let it pass through?
Interesting.
Don't turn on reprise?
I
Because
think you don't block and you just Fate from Arsenal, and that singing can't even get the twinning.
right,
Then you
that
have to
that
be
would have
like,
been the smarter play. Because then you don't even have the possibility of twinning unless it was in Shin's hand to begin with.
you literally should look Shin in the eye, deep in his eyes, and be like, if you have twinning, you're a god. If you
Right.
don't, you lose, right? But
Yeah.
like, honestly, in those situations, I would just tell my opponent, have it. Have
Mm-hmm.
it. I'm not giving you free value. Just have it, right?
Yeah.
And if you
Yeah.
don't have it, okay, I'll just Fate, and it's all gone because singing doesn't do anything.
Absolutely.
So
Yeah.
it's just 4 for 4. No, he wouldn't have the twinning because the tutor wouldn't be on. But I think in that position, you have Fate, literally Fate or Sync
Like you
from
have the
Arsenal.
answer.
You no block, yeah, specifically from Arsenal, so Reprise is not on.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
when you play against Dory, you always look for those opportune moments where you don't turn on the reprise, right? Because
sure.
you never know what's going to
Now,
happen. And so the D-React from Arsenal is obviously the answer to that.
I think it's something to be said if Jake had literally no use for that card, you put it forward because even if
Mm,
Shin does have the card, Fate covers literally everything,
right.
and you get a reaction out of him, right? So you're
It's true.
okay trading
A
a
useless
random
card. A
isolate,
second
or
stealth card. Yeah.
you're running like 9 isolate or whatever,
Hmm.
right? So it's like trading a stealth card for one of his attack reactions is a good deal for you as the Uzuri player, right? So if you really can't use it, that's fine. If it's just going to be like a dagger, that's fine, right? Now he had
Yeah.
to. Jake's gonna have to block the second Dawnblade regardless. If you're blocking the first one and letting him twinning,
Yeah.
he's essentially committing 2 cards unless Shin already has the twinning in hand, right?
Hmm.
That's
Exactly.
how you have to look at it. That's how you have to look at it, as if you're giving him a card, you're probably giving him the second one.
Right. Right.
So
So I think you're more likely going to be using the Fate for Scene on the first swing, and then using your
yes,
isolate on the second
100%,
swing, right? Like you
100%. If he,
you save
because
it for the second swing.
if he has it, whatever. If he has a pump, that's fine. He can't swing again anyways,
Hmm.
right? So
Yeah.
because he doesn't have, like, if he does have twinning, he needs to burn his entire card to use it. Or singing only buffs by 1, so it's still covered by the fate.
It's still
You know what I
covered.
mean? Like,
Exactly. Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
And
So,
turning
I
off
think
reprise means that there isn't really much that can buff your Dawnblade anyway. It's like Out for Blood would be like a one of them. I
and
don't
if
know
he
if it's
does,
probably not even run.
he can take a couple damage, and that's it. Turns
Mm.
over. Takes like 2 damage, and
Yeah,
then you
without
just
Twinning Blade, it's
hand.
over. Yeah,
Yeah, you
exactly.
have a 4 card hand anyways. It's like, all
You
right,
give
because
him
it was
like
from Arsenal.
one counter on this on the glistening, but that's whatever.
Yeah, yeah, like that's like literally the only thing. But
Yeah,
that's if he has the pump that gets over it.
that gets
So he
over
has to
not having
literally have the
reprise
pump.
turned on. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's a
which is
lot of ifs.
you're asking for a lot here, right?
Yeah, yeah,
But
I
it's
agree.
probably rupture. Out for blood.
Yeah,
Some other
rupture too.
cards. Those are
Yeah, that's true.
those are the main ones I can think of.
Yeah,
I mean, because he only had 1 floating, so
overpower if he wants to pitch for a +2. Yeah.
did he have pitch? I thought he only had a card in hand.
You're right. He didn't
Pitch
have
floating.
pitch. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I think it was a pitch and a
But
card.
then using
Or maybe
overpower
not.
for
I don't know.
+2 on a 3 pitch is pretty awful.
Yeah, like you're gonna get it. You're gonna get the counter, and that's about it here. But here, Shin is going to be just not blocking the stealth
Hmm.
card. So he's gonna be like, here, have it.
Oh, okay.
Oh my god, CNC
It's
Valor Valor. I'm
It's a
guessing
blue Valor, I believe. So he's going to be able to
I
get off a
guess Jake.
CNC.
Yeah, I'm guessing Jake is like, Jake definitely picked red.
Like,
So
which
he's
is
just
the better
choosing which
condition?
CNC.
Which is the better
Yeah.
condition CNC here?
You see, it'd be good if Shin had the Marvel. So if he has the Marvel CNC and the
You pick
regular
that
CNC,
one.
then you take his Marvel,
Heck yeah.
and then you just crush his spirit.
Yeah, yeah, that's right.
You spent $1,000 on this card and you
I,
can't even play it.
I'd let him play it. I'd give them the Marvel. I'm nice.
You're too nice. Yeah, you're too nice. You never make it in the
In the real world, I would never make it. Yeah, because that's the kind of play you gotta do to make it in the professional world. Yeah.
Nothing much happening right here. That's why we're kind of glossing over. They're just like whacking each other. Nothing
Yeah,
too
it's a
exciting
little slow
here.
right now. Yeah. Okay, yeah. Nerf Scalpel coming in for 1. I mean, chip damage is always going to be a thing, because Dory is never going to be blocking this unless it's like a really low health total, or you expect like a stealth plus something. And you can use like your 1 pip of armor on it or something. Like if your bracers were at 1, then you can just use it.
Yeah, here's another misplay out of Jake. This is misplay number 2. Why would you Scalpel before CNC? Why would you not Orbido class before CNC? You can't use D-React onto
Oh,
CNC.
I was like trying to see where you were getting at, but yeah, of course you can't react to a CNC.
That is a
Yeah.
massive big question mark
Okay.
because
Yeah.
you do the non-attack and there's non-attacks that he might want to
Mm.
block with, and they're not 2 blocks.
Well,
There's
unless he
there's
wants to block with some.
like what is the point?
Oh,
Like
it's
what do
is
you
it all reactions or just D reactions? I forget. It only does.
for nerve scalpel?
Yeah, it's probably all reactions, right?
Yeah, it's just all reaction
So
cards.
then
I
I
guess
guess
that's
you can use
true,
attack
but
reactions, but then you don't really want to block with them anyway, I suppose.
like
So,
he ended up blocking with a twinning for 2, but like
mm,
oh, he
yeah,
had a shunt in hand. That's actually depressing. He has a remembrance in hand
yeah,
too.
that's pretty sad.
Oh,
Yeah.
Shin's hand was just garbage. Okay, fair enough.
Mm,
I don't know. I feel like you attack with Orbido class. No, because like
you're
Nerf Scalpel only getting half the value is kind of like
mhm.
fine. You know what I mean? Like I don't know if
Right, right. I see the logic though. It's true because you're limiting the card pool that is gonna get the
it's
discount or
yeah.
get the reduction, but
Like generally attacking with Scalpel is usually the correct play. Generally, other than literally CNC, I think you just like attack with Orbido.
yeah, Scalpel or Orbital class, sorry, does make it so that Shin does not want to block with his like, Valor cards that he opens up with, right? So
Valor.
Valor's probably the
Who's
only
Valor?
one, I guess. That's the only one I can think of.
Valor,
Yeah.
Hit and Run,
Oh, hit and run too. Yeah.
Supremacy, Spoils of War. Like there's a bunch of
Okay, there's a
cards.
lot, but that's the thing. So if you discount those, then Shin's less likely to not discount. If you reduce their defense, Shin's less likely to want to block with them. So you let him keep them. So
Mhm.
you make you make them more alluring to block with by attacking with the scalpel. You make them like the primary blocking cards then, because they still block for 3. So it's like you're inviting him
Yeah.
to use them. So it's the reverse psychology. It's the 4D chess.
Yeah, no, that's fair. We do see Shin getting off the Glint Iron
Hmm?
Song off the E-Strike block, but Jake slamming the Fate, so
Yeah.
that is going to block the full 6 unless Shin wants to hopefully add a reaction to this. Otherwise, it
He's
looks.
got 2 floating. That could be a
Yeah.
nice red overpower in there for +6,
Unfortunately, I think one of these cards is Remembrance. So,
Oh yeah, that's true. We did see that.
oh, there's CNC. There is a
Oh.
CNC. That must be the CNC he kept from the previous turn.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Um, pretty good follow through for this particular
Yeah.
card. Either
Unfortunately,
hit
there
run
is
or
no
glint.
arsenal though, but it's still 6
There's no
damage.
arsenal.
It's nice.
I take yeah, I agree with taking this. I don't really see like you're already up by 9. If you can take
Yeah.
this and like swing back with
Hmm.
dagger stealth something, this fine. Oh, he has tunic up too, so
He
it
does
could be
now.
like
Yeah, that's true.
oh no, sorry, okay, no, I thought it was a 3 for some reason. Tunic. No, he's
Well,
at 1.
Shin's
Okay,
at 3, but yeah, Jake's
Shin's
at
at 3,
1.
but Jake's at 1.
Hmm.
Yeah, okay, so it's gonna be a looking for a scrap.
I
Yeah,
saw I saw a
that's pretty
codex in
reasonable.
there, so that's pretty nice. So you can codex something in.
Yeah, this is a perfectly reasonable play. The only better play would be like if you had a blue, then you could dagger, but obviously he doesn't have a blue,
Right.
so that's a
Right.
bit of a
Right.
moot point here. And
Absolutely.
he's gonna be able to get like every time you get looking for scrap, it's always 2 free damage. Like
Hmm.
it's like
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
a
You
lot of
never
decks
fully
want to give
block
you
that.
2 cards. Not a lot of decks are gonna give you 2 cards for
Vanilla
a raw code.
damage. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's nothing. All right, what is he
we're able
picking?
to
It
get
is yeah. So that's what I thought. Leading
witnesses.
the witnesses is a very good
It
target
has to be.
for the frailty. Hmm. The codex of
This is
frailty.
see, this would be a very nice shunt. However, she
Yeah.
doesn't have the shunt when he has the
Yeah.
tunic.
Well, he lost 2 blue shunts now, I believe, and I think he has a 1 left in the deck.
He did end up pitching one. Oh,
Ooh,
Shin is just gonna
slamming
throw
an
down the
Epot.
Epot.
Okay.
Yeah, that's good. Epod's quite a reasonable turn. There's like Uzuri still has a bunch of like clunky like we see 2 looking for scraps, at least 2, possibly 3, 2 give and takes are
Mhm.
like there's not infinite go against sources in
Right.
Uzuri. So if it's just like daggers,
Hmm.
it's less good. Obviously, it's a bunch of stealth cards. Yeah, so this is I think this is
Okay.
a This was a very good turn to throw down the E-Pot because it looks like
Yeah.
he's a bunch of stealth cards
You
here.
usually never see two daggers come in the same turn, actually. This is a little
5 card
exceptional.
hands.
Yeah, yeah,
5 card hands.
it's true. It goes to show what little Uzuri can really do with a 5 card hand. Unless he gets to go against horses, like you said, which are dwindling right now in the deck.
Sure. So this is interesting. So on Shin's side, you're seeing this one dominate. Your non-attacks are 2. Your all reactions are 2. I guess you throw the non-attacks. There's the hit and run I was kind of mentioning earlier, blocking for 2.
Yep, it's true. Yep, getting reduced.
Probably just gonna get
Okay,
blown out of the water
classic.
here.
Yeah, he had
Oasis
that
would
dice
be
on 9 instead of 6, and I was kind of very, I was concerned.
oh, yeah. So if Shin has Oasis, his last Oasis, that's like fantastic
Yeah,
with the tunic
unfortunately.
counter because you take nothing and gain a life. However, he did not have the Oasis,
Mm,
so he's gonna lose his last twinning. I think
It was 20.
his last one. I think it's the last one or is the second one.
That'd be second. He only played one. I don't think he blocked with. Oh, no, he blocked with one. So it
He
must
did
be his
block
last
with
one. That was his
Yeah,
last
he
one.
did
Then.
block with one for. He blocked with one for 2
Yeah.
on the other turn on the
Yeah.
2/2/2 turn.
Yeah, absolutely.
So just a Dawnblade swing here. Shin does have 2 cards.
Mm.
He has Bolters up. He has Tunic up. Could literally be anything. I
I'm
think.
still waiting for either a route or an overpower red.
I. Th- yeah. I mean, you have to use it to win the game. I don't know. I don't
Yeah,
know
it's true.
what you're
It's
gonna
true.
need to.
Hmm.
It's gonna be tough because you really do have to get around all these D reacts, right?
Mm-hmm. I mean, he's okay. Yeah, that's pretty nice up for blood.
Just out for blood.
I mean, he's gone through a lot of them. I think we've seen the 2 frailty traps. We've seen probably at least 4 of the other sync slash
Same
fate for
fits,
scenes,
yeah.
right? Yeah.
Yep.
So I think he's running low on. There's probably a 5th one. So I think we're running at least like maybe 1 or 2 more D reacts in the deck at this point.
I do agree with that. So we do see another cover here. Shin's gonna draw up. He is down by 10. The Uzuri definitely has
It's
a
it's
pretty
a
nice
significant
advantage at this point.
deficit. Yeah.
You have to also remember that might not be a third Oasis in the deck, meaning there might not be any more life gain in Shin's deck other than Heart of Final, which doesn't block. So that Flick Knives essentially represents 2 free damage.
That's
So
true.
you have to remember Shin is effectively a 9. Like don't think of him at 11, think of him as 9.
It's true.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And
And
21 to 9 is he still has armor. Jake still has snaps. Still has
yeah.
couple armor to deal with.
He's got
and
the
then
one.
Jin only has
Yeah.
2 armor. So they're even on armor, which is not the best.
There is
place
an
to be
Epot.
in the story.
Epot in Shin's
There is
corner,
an Epot, yeah.
which is
yeah.
pretty nice.
And Epot represents, 2 1-for-3s.
It's quite a lot, yeah. And Epot can do a lot in Dory.
Possibly.
Both
He
of the
can,
Dawnblade swings.
Yeah, so that Epot is effectively 6 if Shin has the cards for it, right?
It's true. It's true. There's the overpower. Is that a yellow?
Yeah, it might be a yellow.
Overpower
Nice.
yellow. Wow. Red shunt. Yeah,
Finally-
very nice.
Finally got. the
Oh, he had to
two
use a red.
shunt.
He had to use a red shunt on top, like to block 1 though.
I don't think it matters,
Yeah.
honestly. Just because, like, if you let it hit, he's gonna banish the card off surgical. So
But then, do you
Yeah.
just use it? Do you not block then and just use only the shunt to cover anything? Because you can cover everything really with that shunt, right? Like, you don't really worry about CNC or shakedown or surgical at that point.
yeah, you're not wrong. I'm actually kind of curious why Shin did that. Why he didn't just red shunt it. If it is indeed a red shunt. If it's a blue shunt, then it makes a whole lot of sense.
I'm
but,
pretty sure it's red, unless I'm
yeah.
blind.
In that
But
case, I actually don't know why Shin bothered blocking with a card there.
maybe he thought it was a bluff. He's like, oh, but if you think it was a bluff, you just take the 1 or the 2 damage, right? You don't give a card for it.
Yeah, as long as his hand is like somewhat reasonable, but he's coming in, he's popping the bolters. The time is now.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, okay.
Jake didn't block the first one, so something's definitely up here.
Well, now's the time to get back into the game if the hand commands it, which it should because you're popping
And
bolters.
builds it.
Yeah.
I mean, so 2 cards in hand for Shin, they can easily be 1-for-3s, which the Epoch can pay for, right? So you have to figure that this can be at least 7.
Yeah.
It's likely 7.
Yeah, I would say there's at least
I would
one
probably-
pump in there. There's got to be probably at
That's
least one pump.
that's true. So he's gonna throw 6. He's not gonna respect
Okay. I
anything.
mean, that's very nice. I mean, you can't really. Do you throw Skull Cap? Actually, Skull Cap's at 0 defense right now, so you can't even throw the Skull
All
Cap
caps
in.
and nothing. You'd have
Yeah,
to throw flick, which I don't think you're
which you
doing at
wouldn't
this
want
point.
to do. No, especially when Shin's low. Oh, it's the route. Okay.
There's the route you wanted.
Yeah. Love
That's
route.
quite nice. So
Yep.
it's coming in for 7 onto the 3.
Yeah.
Does he
Any
have the
any D
fate?
reacts? Does
We're
he have like
saying
the fourth? Sorry, not the fourth. The third fate. I think is what's left in the deck right now.
I think it's another fate, yeah. So he does not. He gets the Shin gets the counter. Gets a little bit back here now.
Mm.
Jake does get his isolate back. So if he has any sort of
Like
sync for
ice.
that, like if he has an Uzuri card, like a payoff essentially,
Mm-hmm.
that would be good. I'm gonna start with the scalpel.
Scalpel.
I did see the give and take. So he's likely gonna play the give and take because at this point, it's taking a lot more than it's giving.
Yeah, that's true.
Double. Oh, he had a lot of isolate. That was a triple isolate hand. So
Mm.
what does he have in the arsenal? I wonder.
It's probably a
A
stealth.
touch maybe.
Okay, it's a backstab.
Health card. All right. So this is the bluff, right? So
Yeah.
Shin's at 9,
Mhm.
and he can't play a reaction on this link. Not that he would want to, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
Um.
It's true. Yeah. Yeah.
So, it's interesting. He's not even checking his grave. He might be looking at the timer and being like, he's got no time to check the
Oh,
grave. But this is probably when I'm
true.
checking the grave to seeing how many
Ooh.
payoffs he has.
Spoils of
Oh,
War
he's
block
giving him
too.
full respect.
That's interesting. Did we see what that last card is?
Hit and run. Like the blocking
Sorry,
card?
on
Oh,
Jake's
give and
side.
take. Give and take. Give
Oh,
and
that's
take.
give and
It
take.
was a
Okay,
bluff. It was a bluff.
so it
It was
was
a
a
bluff.
bluff. Yeah. Okay, so we
It
know
was
for
a
a
bluff.
fact it was a
Yeah.
bluff. Oh, that's
We
too
know for a
bad.
fact
Shin
it was
could
a
have
bluff.
used that Spoils of War so much. It's an excellent card.
I think he should have just like Jake's deck's getting real thin. You could tell his graveyard's pretty thick. I probably would have counted Jake's grave to actually see what the odds are of him having
Oh,
one of those
yeah,
payoffs. Like
absolutely.
again, it might be a timer thing. It's not really strictly a misplay. I think it's just like at that point, I
You
think you
just
make a
want to.
calculated guess.
I
Maybe you
think.
give him a card.
Yeah,
That's it.
Shin's probably already figured out that his win condition is fatigue, maybe. So he's just kind of like, okay, I'll block this out to make sure nothing funny happens, and then just kind of beat the timer.
Yeah,
Could be
but
what he's thinking.
I would argue that you might need to be taking a little bit more damage to swing back with an extra card. Like you said,
Yeah,
Spoils of War he was keeping.
yeah.
Like he needs to
He
keep that
blocked with
Spoils of
spoils.
War.
Yeah.
He's got a counter. He's at 4. He needs to keep this counter. Oh, he's gonna take the 4 here. That's all he's got.
Hmm.
Okay, that's interesting. Yeah, I think the play was just to block with a card on
Hmm.
Shin's side. Like after checking that a lot of Jake's threats are just straight up gone.
Right.
Like Codex doesn't count as a threat because
You can't shove that in.
Literally,
Yeah.
yeah. So
And
now Shin's gonna
probably
see
sees the give and take. He's like, oh man, what have I done?
No, I don't know. Oh, because he's gonna block with the card, and Jake's gonna get no. That's a reaction. It has to be
It has to be an
action.
action, I believe. Yeah. So
It has to be an action.
nothing, no harm, no foul on that block. Full
Yeah.
block as well. And Iron Song, not an excellent card to keep.
Yeah,
It's nice, but
you could
can
definitely block with that
you
because
can
you're not
give
giving him value. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's 10-9, so
Yeah,
looking
I'm wondering
looking
what
quite
happened.
even.
Yeah, I was wondering what the heck happened to get him back in this game.
Dawnblade.
Just
Dawnblade for 4.
yeah, just
Bring him
Downblade for
down,
4.
Dawnblade for
Yeah,
4 again. Yeah.
potent stuff.
Yeah, he didn't have a payoff for that stealth. Like Jake's turn was literally dagger stealth card. Like it wasn't.
Yeah,
Like, he didn't really have anything to hit him with. So there's a wither. Wither is a little annoying because this is the frailty on hit, right? So even if
yeah.
this does
So
hit, it
yeah,
does make your Dawnblade go back to 3.
exactly. Yeah, even if you're bluffing and this goes down, this hits, at least you have something that's gonna stick with the on hit, as opposed to the other stealth cards which don't really do anything.
This is interesting. I mean, Jake does have 2 cards. There is a higher chance that one of them is a threat because even surgical extraction is a threat at this point, right? And
Yeah,
he pitched one.
he
but
pitched 2, I think. So they're definitely okay. So giving full respect, giving Iron Song Determination and Warrior's Valor. I believe it's a yellow, but still a good card. I mean, you still want to start this off with Warrior's Valor. I
Okay,
think the
so
death touch is in hand. It might be a death touch.
Death Touch is in hand. It's a
Yeah.
Death Touch Codex. So like, what you can do is you can like Azuri the Death Touch. No,
Well,
Azuri the Death Touch and Codex something in
yeah,
and just hit him with it. But
it's
like,
got to
it's
be
not.
leave no witnesses or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not great. You probably want to just keep the death touch.
Yeah, no, I agree with keeping the Death Touch here. It's perfectly reasonable. I think Shin coming in with his 4, yeah, blocking 6 with Shin is definitely like I think you've kind of like you're on that train now. Like if you already blocked 6 on the one before, you're
You
like,
might as well
this is
keep
the
doing it.
plan.
Yeah,
You're either it's very hard to like wish wash between them depending on what
mm,
your hand looks like, but
it's true.
Shin
And
determining
yeah, and also you're able
this is the time
to
to shine.
Arsenal Death Touch, which is a very good place for it. So I think
Especially you have Tunic up too, right? So
right, that's a free card coming in at some point. Although I don't know if there's any go against source left in the deck. We saw, I believe, 3 strikes, or at least 2 of them. We saw 3 give and takes. We saw, I believe it was 3 looking for a scrap that came out.
mhm.
So there really isn't many sources of go again left in the deck.
No, the man's deck's thin. It's mainly just stealth cards at this point, right?
Yeah,
So we
yeah.
are going to see Jake's just going to take it. So he's
Oh,
oh, it's
there was a
double red. No.
it
He's
was one
picking red
red,
and a
one
blue.
blue. Yeah. Yeah, the orbital
Okay,
class,
interesting.
Shin
He really doesn't
taking
want that
it.
death touch in hand.
Yeah, that couldn't have been the one that he kept from last turn, I hope.
Okay, so he's probably going to be using his death touch after this from Arsenal, is my guess.
Yeah.
He's going to
What
pitch
was
death
left?
touch and then Codex.
And Arsenal Codex.
No, you can. Well, you can snaps it. Yeah,
And
he
he's
just snaps
snapping
it
it.
and you
Oh,
play
I
Codex.
see.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
No, this is perfectly reasonable
Oh, and
line.
you can Codex a Death Touch and play it.
Yeah, you can Codex
That'd
Death
be
Touch.
great.
You can Codex.
Ooh.
I think it has to be Death Touch here because Leave No is blocked by the bracers in a card.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, Death Touch should
unlikely to hit.
be... There it is, yeah.
Yeah, you definitely
Okay.
get the Death Touch here.
Oh,
This-
what's...
Are you seeing how much pitch he has left?
Oh, they're counting the pitch left. Okay. So it looks like 2, 2, 5...
He has 2 left.
5,
right?
and he pitched
He pitched the
blue,
blue.
red, blue? Yeah, 7, okay.
Yeah, he pitched the blue for the Death Touch.
Yeah, so he definitely
Just
can
coming in
afford
for
it
number 6.
without needing Tunic. But even without any pitch left, Tunic would have been the perfect supporting card for a Death Touch.
Hmm.
Cleaning up
Cleaning up the field a
clean
little
up
bit.
on aisle, Jake.
On aisle everything.
Everybody.
Okay, so that's an overpower, so he's gonna be taking the 3 here.
Now,
Yeah.
do you frailty or do you blood rot? Because blood rot gets him into the double flick, double flick range.
No, you inertia here.
Inertia. Okay, that makes
Yeah,
sense. That makes sense.
I was
'Cause
about
he
to
likely
say
can't play the Arsenal. Yeah,
No, Shin can cover Blood Rot is the issue.
with the potion.
He has Epot Tunic.
It's true.
Oh, that's a big misplay off Jake's side.
So he did take blood rot. Okay, yeah.
He chose Blood Rot. Oh, that might cost you the game there. We're gonna see if that ends up costing the game here. Depending on what Shin's Arsenal is, if that Arsenal wins the game,
Yeah.
that was the big misplay that's gonna
Yeah,
lose
yeah.
the game there.
Makes a lot of sense.
It's funny because Shin should be at lower life from that other give and take. Just saying, but
Yeah.
that's totally
Well, yeah.
neither here nor there. If it were to
Exactly.
hit, but we do just see daggers. So again, Shin's still pretty low. That flick knives is a thing.
Yeah, I mean, you take an extra dagger here, and you're basically dead.
Yeah, you have heart, I guess, but
Right.
Other than
That's
that-
one card that's going to come back probably soon.
yeah, it's gonna come back probably either this cycle or next cycle. We do see a block here. Obviously, Shin very aware that he cannot take that second dagger.
And I keep
Which is good.
thinking, like, why doesn't he use the bracers to block? Of course, piercing 1 is a thing.
You always forget there's.
I
piercing on
always
that.
forget it. I'm like, why is he giving a card? But of course,
In fact-
it's because you can't block daggers with armor.
In fact, very good here. So card in hand for Jake.
It's a good bluff.
Oh man, do you just block with bracers and just like swing at him? Oh, he's gonna do it.
Oh, this is
Oh,
dangerous, though.
I love it. Shin's look at a madman. Look at the smile. Look at Shin just like looking into his soul.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I love it. This is the play that I would have done. Just
What
swung
does
for
Jake
the
have in
fences.
hand? Is it even something he can Uzuri in? I don't-
Nothing is the answer.
Oh, he is, though.
Yeah, but like I don't know what it is.
Okay. Maybe it was like a
Like
blue
what?
death touch or something.
It
No,
can't because
that.
he literally just pitched the red death touch. The death touch can't be back
Oh,
yet.
why would you? Yeah, okay, it's true.
Oh, it's shunt.
Okay, that's why. Yeah, okay, yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. So
So he's
he should have counted CNCs though, because you don't. Hmm.
hurl.
Okay.
Okay.
Hurl for
Well,
3.
hurl has go again. Yeah, hurl's not gonna get through, but hurl has go again. So
Okay.
we assume he's asking about the additional cost if he can like pay to flick something at him. The answer is no. So I'm assuming that's what Yichin told
Oh, okay.
whoever the judge was. You
Okay.
can't. You've skipped that phase. Like you don't. You've skipped the layer. You're already on attack reaction, so you've skipped all of that. Like when this is played as an additional cost, do this.
Oh, I
That's
see.
gone.
Yeah, that makes
you can't
sense.
do that anymore.
Yeah.
It's like when you go in with E strike. Like if you Uzuri and E strike, it's a 0 for 5. You can't do
Right, you
anything
can't
like
just
that.
say, "I want to draw a card now." Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
So we just see a Dawnblade swing from Shin. They did get time extension. They are on stream, so a little bit of an extension here. Game's still like pretty solidly in Azuri's favor here because of Flick, but his deck's getting real thin, so he's probably got a lot of stealth cards, but it doesn't really matter when Shin's at 3.
Yeah. Oh, he's taking
so
the
luck-
one. Ooh.
Yeah, because Shin had
Okay.
the heart of Findel.
So
So I'm
can
guessing
heal one. Yeah.
blocking with Pummel for
Yeah.
1,
Yep. It's true.
going to isolate for 1, card in hand, gonna give him the card and the
Giving
tunic.
Tunic just to. Yeah. Well, I mean, at this point, if it is a 6 power card, he still dies.
It has to be literally a 6, but if there's anything else, then he's fine. And he's doing this to cover things like surgical extraction, right?
Well, that
that's
makes
the card
sense.
that like
Oh, of
he
course.
has left.
You definitely
He has
expect that to
surgical
come
left.
back.
Yeah. Yeah, his surgical left. So like giving him tunic and covering surgical is fantastic, right?
He has like 2 cards left in deck here.
Oh, there's that beautiful Heart of Findel coming in to save the day. Nah, that Heart of Findel's doing some work this
3
game.
cards. Okay.
I think it's gained him like 3 life or 2 life or something like that.
Two now, I think. But
why did
is
he
that the
block
red
with 1
overpower?
card? Oh, he lost. Oh, that's Doom.
Is that it?
That's it.
Oh.
Oh my
Well,
god.
it's funny because
Why
that's the
would
card I
you
wanted
block
to see
with
the
1
most,
card?
and it cost him the game. Oh, wow.
So
I mean,
okay, two things. I just want to say that card was the card that was stuck in Arsenal all time. So if Inertia would have been the choice,
then he would have lost it.
that Overpower is gone.
Yeah. So it was a
that's the
game-losing choice to pick Blood Rot.
Well, when Shin can literally cover it without a card in hand, yes. If Shin could not have paid for it, Blood Rot is definitely the right play because then he would take 2 and then Flick would win the game, right? In this particular case, he could pay for it.
Yeah.
Shin, like, there's no guarantee Shin is even going to need that E-Pot at any particular point when you haven't already won off, like, some kind of a Uzuri play or a Codex play or whatever. And 2, there is no reason why your deck being this thin should only be blocking with 1 card. Like, I think...
Right. Yeah, of course, because... If you don't block, right?
Why are you keeping a 4-card hand over your 3-card hand? You know what I mean? Like the thing is, all you need to do is literally, with 2 cards, dagger something, and then flick knives, and you have a tunic up too.
You're right.
You know what I mean? Like it's literally.
So
you don't. Oh, sorry. You don't even need to do that because you have tunic up. You literally pitch a blue dagger, tunic, use the other blue. And then if your card in Arsenal is a stealth card, you play the stealth card, you have a card in hand, you're threatening surgical, you get more cards. And at that point, Shin is probably taking at least 1 from a dagger. Unless he's giving a card each for a dagger, in which case, okay.
Which you're happy with, absolutely. Too. Yeah.
Yeah, and this is when Shin is going to be at 3 in this particular case, right? So, because this is after the heart. It's after pitching heart for the
overpower.
The Dawnblade, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, for the overpower. And so you're attacking with the dagger. Shin probably takes the first one, probably, right? And then you attack with the second dagger, Shin blocks, and then what you can do is stealth something in and then take 2 more cards, right? Like what is the purpose of the 3rd card in Jake's hand?
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like it doesn't really make any sense. And if you really don't want to give the card, then you give the tunic. Like, what do you really need Tunic for at this point of the game?
Yes,
like,
that is true. Actually, that's the safe play. You give Tunic here. because there's no way you lose, right? Like this wouldn't have happened if he blocked with if he didn't turn on reprise, basically. So I wonder, that was a bit
Well,
careless, maybe.
well, even without the reprise, it's still +4. You're coming in for 7 on a tunic. You still lose.
Oh,
So
so tunic
you do
wouldn't
need
be
to give.
enough here. It's true. It's true.
No, you'd have
Yeah,
to
it's
give him
not. It's
flick,
4 without reprise. Okay, not 2. Yeah, it's true. It's true.
which I don't think you're giving flick anytime soon. But like,
No, you wouldn't. No.
play the video. I want to see if he reveals what
Yeah,
Jake's
sure.
hand is. It's possible maybe he so we can get a little bit more insight on what.
Let's see.
That was his deck. His arsenal was surgical. So what's the surgical?
Okay. Yeah.
What is his hand though?
Let's
I
see.
don't know what his hand was.
Oh, Shin wants to know.
And his skill, death touch, stealth, and something
Oh,
like
infect. Yeah.
infect.
Mm-hmm.
So
And he gave.
why don't you just isolate death touch to win the game? I'm very confused. Shin's at 3. How does isolate death touch not win the game?
Well, maybe that was his plan.
But then why are you keeping the second?
Okay, so you might as well
stealth card?
give right. So then you block 6 and just go for a game with
Isolate death
isolate
touch.
with tunic. Yeah, it's true. I mean,
You don't need the tunic. It's isolate death touch. Uzuri death touch.
Oh yeah, you don't pay for death, of course. Yeah, you don't pay for it.
Am I missing something? Am I just a bad player? Hold on. Shin has no armor left. He blocked with tunic. He blocked with everything.
He has 1 left on.
No, he doesn't have any
bracers?
left. There's 2. There's 2 on the bracers.
Oh.
He blocked both times.
I like the Pokemon tokens. I think they're from like Pokemon ETBs or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Shin has no armor. Um.
Yeah, probably no.
Maybe he. Does he shunt?
No shunts
Does
left?
he have any shunts left?
I don't
don't
know.
even think he has shunt. I think he would have seen them because he's already
I
a
think
member in his
all
deck.
three blues are gone. At least 2 reds are gone. I forget if I saw a third one. But yeah,
I don't see why you can't just like take the safe play and still go for game.
right. And even if it's not game, you can still keep going. Like it's even if he shunts it, like okay, whatever, I'll keep going and live. Overpower.
Also to that point, what you can do if he does shunt it is you can flick the nerf scalpel at him, right? So you can wait until he plays the D-react.
Yeah, it's true.
He has to have the D-react,
Right.
and then flick it. And even if it's a red shunt, you can still get 1 damage through your death touch. You can get 1 damage on the thing. So Shin is at 1, right? And then Shin would have had to pitch a card, and so Shin would have had to use 2 cards to get the shunt off, right? 1 to pitch, 1 the shunt itself. So Shin has 2 cards. You give him Blood Rot, and all Shin can do
he has to just pitch a blue to
is
get
literally
rid
pitch a he has to pitch to swing the thing, and then you just block with 2 cards, and he pitches again, and you just dagger and kill him. He's at 1.
Mm-hmm.
He's at 1, so you swing with anything and just flick the Orbido class and kill him. No?
Yeah, I mean, I
think he's got enough cards to do it. So
it's true. It's true. I think in his mind he thought he was safe by blocking for 3, but didn't consider the red overpower, which it's
there's no. I'm not faulting like Jake at all here. Like it's a pretty stressful situation. You got like a minute left on the clock here.
That might have played into it too. Yeah. I mean, I assume he just thought he could arsenal it. Like he might have saw the play, but he's like, at least I can arsenal my infect if I want to, right, for next turn.
Like it's possible he wants to like pitch a blue dagger, use a tunic surgical for 4.
I guess you
Possibly.
could pitch. That's a yellow. It's probably a blue infect actually. Yeah, I'm wondering if you could have pitched for a dagger and then gone in with the.
Jake does only have 3 cards left in deck, so I don't know if he gets unlucky and Shin has the shunt. Maybe he fatigues. I don't even think he fatigues out. Again, the play I just said, you don't need any more cards. Like Shin would have to like. I don't even know if Shin has any attack reactions left for that matter. He might just have a bunch of blues and like no blocks. But either way, that was
an intense game roller coaster, I think, and Shin did a really good job at coming back into this game. They were pretty even most of it, but then like he was down 10 health at like 11 to 21 or something. It was not looking very. It was looking kind of dire actually for Dory because the constant threat of daggers plus Uzuri's ability is it's very hard to stay on top of if you're in a life deficit. So it was very good for him to come back. I blinked and it was even again.
It was
I
over.
was like,
Yeah.
how did Dawnblade do so much work into Uzuri? But I guess Uzuri just didn't want to block much, or Jake didn't want to block much at that point. He wanted to try to hammer the game, through with his, I guess with death touches mostly. I think there were no
Yeah.
more, shakedowns or CNCs. It was all just kind of death touch. So
Yeah.
yeah,
No, I think the only thing the Shin did was a little awkward was he blocked with a card and then he shunted for
that
like
was
he could have just
awkward.
shunted.
Yeah,
He could have saved the spoils and came in with a lot more pressure.
that is true.
But
That is true.
other than that, played a very good game.
Mm.
Jake had a couple. The give and take was quite minor earlier on, like not attacking with the give and take, and then it just getting blown up in
Yeah,
Arsenal.
yeah. I mean, yeah. Basically, it
Taking
had to be CNC. That's it.
yeah, the doing the blood rod over inertia when Shin could cover the blood rod.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's true that
Pretty awkward.
my initial thought was Blood Rot because he's low health. But then when you look at the E-Pot, you're like, okay, well, actually, it won't matter
He just
anymore.
pays for it. Yeah, it's not guaranteed damage. Like he just pays for it, and the inertia is like guaranteed that because like Shin, there's really not a ton of cards Shin can arsenal at this point.
That costs
in the game.
0.
Like,
Yeah, you just play out, right?
yeah, like a lot of the cards are going to be like shitty blues and like possibly a D react and like or a good card. So if you get a D react out of there, that's good for you. If you get any kind of attack reaction, it's also great for you. Chances are he didn't arsenal some like random blue non-attack action or something like that, right? So I think like inertia is definitely the play there. And then only blocking 3 there when you have lethal in hand is
Yeah,
but at that point it's getting a little bit intense, right? So
yeah.
with that being said, hopefully everyone appreciated watching this fairly long video, but it was a fairly long game to be fair. So with that, hopefully you learned something. If you like this kind of content, feel free to like, comment, subscribe. If you saw some other plays that we didn't mention that you want to chime in on, feel free to do so. And with that, from wherever you're watching in the world, have a good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. Bye for now.